Yeah. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We back at it again. Wrong button. But that's okay. That's okay. Bang, bang, boogie. Whew. Man, it's been a long one. I'll tell you. Got some bad news today. So that's why I'm starting a little late. Wasn't gonna do the podcast today, but you know what I'm saying? Decided to go on with it. Stepdad died today. So just letting y'all know. That's why we got started a little late, but just felt like, hey, maybe we should just go ahead and do the thing. You know what I mean? So that being said, y'all already know the show is sponsored by D Minds. Like I said, we got new music coming on the 19th, as y'all can see. Album cover right there, HPZ. You know what I mean? The exclusive experience. Man, y'all go check that out on all streaming platforms. Once again, show is sponsored by D Minds Music. New music on all streaming platforms. And that was just a little sample of what we had coming. You know what I mean? I can't play everything for you. I can't play the whole joint for you. You know what I mean? Can't play the whole joint for you this time. You know what I'm saying? But we had to go ahead and let things happen. But hey, y'all check that out. Y'all already know. My boys sitting politic over there. Y'all check them out every single day. We go live over there. Not every single day, but definitely help me out with my podcast. So y'all go check them out. And Gates Open Warner Media Group. That's me. You already know. And I keep saying I'm gonna change that name, but I haven't done it yet. But I need to get that done. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, as we move on into this thing, let me put this one back up here. Oh, look at this. Come on. Look at it. I got my eye on you. That's what that meant. I got my eye on you. You told me to keep that same energy. Uh-oh. You see that eye right there? Right there in the middle? I got my eye on you. um, so I was told to keep the same energy. So we're gonna let that ride right now. Also, y'all hit the cash out. Comment, like, subscribe, like we always talk about. You know what I'm saying? Help the music out. Help the music out. Help the channel out. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to grow over here. Um, and with everything going on today, man, I kind of lost my train of thought. But let me get back where we were. The first order of business. First order of business was the fact that, you know, these boys get up and rolling. Talking about my boy Steph and the Heat. The Heat. Steph and the Warriors anyway, they get up and rolling. Him and Clay just got back together. Draymond just came back like 2 games ago. Then all of a sudden, boom. What happens? My boy get hurt. He gets hurt. So, man, I'm trying to get this here together. Y'all bear with me. There we go. Now I got it. Now I got what I'm looking for. Now I got what I'm looking for. But anyway, Curry go out and get hurt, man. So they were playing the Celtics last night. They got blown out. And it was this hustle play. Well, basically, I'm pretty sure you already seen it, but basically, Curry got his ankle rolled up on. They said he sprained one of the tendons in his, I want to say his left ankle. Yeah, it was a left ankle. But if you go back to the beginning of Curry's career, he had a bunch of ankle injuries. And matter of fact, the Warriors were thinking about not even giving him a deal. Get me some water. Yeah. The Warriors were thinking about not even giving him a deal. So that's why this is such a big deal. If memory serves me correctly, he had a special doctor that came in and worked on his ankle because he kept springing his ankles, kept twisting his ankles, springing his ankle, whatever you want to call it. But there was a specific doctor who knew exactly what to do because the other doctors weren't doing whatever they needed to do to his ankle. And I want to say it was scrape off some bone or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But you guys can go look that up. And that's why this injury is so significant is simply because Curry has had major ankle issues from the time he came into the league. That's why, once again, if you look at the thumbnail, that's why I chose that thumbnail, because he got those high ankle braces on his ankles because he twist and turn them and jack them up all the time. So he haven't had an issue with them since, his second or third year in the league. But just remember, I don't know if you remember, but they almost didn't sign him. They almost got rid of Steph because of his ankles. So that's why this injury is so major. They say he's out for the rest of the season. So what does that mean? I think as long as he can come back into the playoffs, as the playoffs are going, I think they'll be all right. As he spoke about and what I played yesterday, Curry, Draymond, and Clay have such a camaraderie team. They know each other like the back of their hands. It's not going to take long for them to get back into the swing of things. So in that fashion, I don't think it's going to matter or be as bad. But I think where it is going to hurt is the actual rotation, because coming down to the end of the season, Steve Kerr needs to start getting his, figuring out his rotation. What is his rotation going to be? Because they got some studs out there. They got Andre Iguodala, who's hurt. They have Gary Payton, the junior, who's hurt. They have they got Poole, who was balling. They got so many people at those guard positions, and then players coming off the bench. Kuminga, you got Moody. You got so many positions and and it's only so much time in the game, and that's where he got to tighten up his rotation. But the one thing I will say about Steve Kerr is I think he does a great job of actually going deep into the bag year long to start getting these players some experience. So when it comes playoff time, they already have some experience. And it's not like they've just stepping on the court for the first time. So that's one thing I think is the coaching brilliance of Steve Kerr, where Steve Kerr actually will allow these players to play. Sometimes the starters won't even play, give them rest, and let the some of these Kumingas. I mean, Kuminga's been getting a little PT anyway, but Moody. But letting these players play a whole game for the most part and getting some experience, because you always want to let your second and third tier players get some PT, because you never know when they're actually going to be needed and called upon to actually come out and play. So in retrospect, when Curry get hurt, he's out for the rest of the season from my understanding. But is that going to be detrimental to the Warriors? And I'm going to say no. As long as he can come back into the playoffs healthy, you know what I mean? Pretty healthy once the playoffs start. I think it'll be pretty cool. So long as Curry can come back and be pretty healthy, and hopefully he'll be able to come back before the playoffs even start. Right as the playoffs start, he'll be able to play the first round without missing any games. He downstairs. Without missing any games. Hopefully he'll be able to come back. Because when he come back, the only thing I worry about is the actual rotation. And that might hurt them a little bit. But Steve Kerr, like I said, he goes deep into his bag all year long. So at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be a big deal. But, that bench is going to shorten up a little bit, but not too much it's going to be weird. You know what I'm saying? I think they're still going to be productive. And we'll see. And like people say, the number one thing I've always said, I remember a couple years ago when Clay, they say Clay was searching the market. And I was like, well, Clay, he's a dynamic player, dynamic shooter, but he's not the guy that you want to be the main piece on your team. And I'm not trying to throw no disrespect to Clay, because I like Clay. But Clay really don't get his own shot like that. He don't need a lot of room to get off a shot, but he don't get his own shot like that. And that's why Curry is so important, because Curry can get his own shot. But Clay is, Curry gonna do his run around and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, you sometimes got to double guard. Obviously, you got to double guard him. Sometimes you got to double guard Clay. but Clay is less of a threat to actually get off his own shot. So going back to what I was saying, a couple years ago when Clay was on the market, I thought it would have been silly for Clay to play without a player who can actually get the ball to the hole, who can drive and get their own shot, because really he can't. That's not his game. That's not really what he does. So, but we're going to be able to see what Clay can do. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong, and Clay will be able to do the thing. But now, in retrospect, Clay is also coming off of 2.5-year injuries. So we're going to see what this team can do. Jordan Poole has been balling, so we'll be looking for him to step it up even more. We'll be looking for Wiggins to step it up even more, and I think they'll still be all right, at least the first round. But hopefully, like I say, they'll be able to get everything fixed and worked out that first round. So with that being said, we're gonna transition this thing, and oh my God, I was trying to key up some video for this one, but if you guys watched that game last night, the Lakers and the Mavs, right? And I can't understand why people don't understand. Hold on. I don't understand how people say LeBron isn't stat bad, how people say LeBron isn't selfish, how people don't understand how he don't get back on D. If he ain't getting the ball on offense, he's huffing and puffing. So the play I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure y'all all have seen it, where I forgot who he was. Dude drove past Braun, and it wasn't even hard. He drove past Braun and threw up the alley, but I think dude caught it and came down with it, then went back up and dunked it. And then you see LeBron literally walking off the court and just wave his hand like that. Now, as his team gets the rebound, now they're playing 4-on-5. The Lakers on offense with 4. LeBron never shows up. You never see him on that end of the court. And literally, like I've always been saying, this man's a quitter. He literally quit on his team in the middle of a game. What kind of leadership does that show? And that's all people want to talk about. Oh, he's this leader. He make everybody better. He does this. Has had the worst plus minus on the team since beginning of January. Beginning of December. Has had the worst plus minus on the team. This guy literally went like this as he's walking to the sideline. Wow. But no, this y'all leader. Now, I had a debate with some guys a couple years ago when LeBron first came over there, right? He first came over to the Lakers. And if you notice, and Walt Clyde Frazier had something to say about this, and people jumped down his throat. But LeBron was sitting 5 seats away from everybody else. His teammates, the same guys he ended up getting rid of, he was sitting 5 chairs down with the towel over his head and stuff like that. So Walt Clyde Frazier said something about it, and everybody up in arms. Oh, this is what LeBron always do. He always do this. Da-da-da, always making excuses. So now AD gets there, and what? He's sitting with everybody. Come on, man. Make it make sense. He ain't sitting 5 feet away from everybody. He's sitting right there next to everybody because this guy is not a leader. This guy is not a leader. He's a fraud. And right now, this Lakers team is the worst team in NBA history. Yeah, I said it. The worst team in NBA history. Y'all got five Hall of Famers. 5 Hall of Famers. And are pretty garbage. Yes, all-star players and Hall of Fame players have played on bad teams, but I've never seen it look like this. These guys are disengaged. If the bottom of the West wasn't that terrible, I mean, nobody can win a game. The Lakers can't win a game. Who else down there? Who else down there in that sauce? And I'm just getting hot every game because nobody can win a game. Let me see. Who else down there? Standings, playoffs. Um, New Orleans can't win a game. San Antonio can't win a game, and Portland can't win a game. The Lakers would be totally out of there. Now we got this play-in crap that LeBron said whoever created that mess need to be fired. Look, man, I'm keeping that same energy. That's what I was told to do. So Portland's 28-41. Lakers are 29-40. San Antonio 27-43. And Portland's 26-42. Can somebody down there win some games? Nobody's winning games. That's why nobody can gain traction on the Lakers. Now, just so you know, if you're the 8, I meant the 10 seed, you got to play 2 games to get into the playoffs in this play-in situation. And if you're in the 7 seed, you just got to win, not 7, but I think the 9 seed, you got to win 1, maybe. I don't know. It's all jacked up. But anyway, I'm keeping that same energy. That's what I was told to do. You know what I'm saying? But this guy literally walks off the court, waves his hand like this, but y'all don't call that quitting. At that point there, you're just delusional. You're just delusional when this guy just and then he walk off the court. Don't get back down on offense. Any other player does that, that's a big problem. But LeBron does it, and here comes the superhero LeBron team coming to save him. Man, please get up out of here, that mess. And then, total disrespect, Russ ended up shooting the air ball, and what's his name? Cat catch the ball, hand it off to Patrick Beverly, and just start looking around like he's looking for the ball. That was crazy. The total disrespect. That was crazy. But hey, these guys make millions upon millions of dollars. I don't feel bad for them. Practice. That's all you got to do. That's your job. I have to go to my job every day. You got to go to your job every day. There shouldn't be no reason you can't shoot now. At the position you play, there's no reason you can't shoot. There's no reason Russ can't shoot better than he is. And no, this isn't all Russ' fault, but I got to get on him a little bit. Dude, you can't hit the side of a barn right now. He has to. It's like unbelievable. There's no way this man was this terrible, obviously. Averaged a triple-double the last 4 to 5 years or something like that. And he plays this, like he has to be uncomfortable. Because, look, you can fall off, but not like this. It's like he just jumped off the cliff. Not just fell, but jumped off the cliff. Once again, it ain't all Russell Westbrook's fault, but he got to get some of it. He got to get some of this dirt. You know what I mean? It ain't all Bron's fault. But I think Bron gets most of the blame simply because, 1, he put this team together. 2, he is the GOAT by many. So you got to play better. Then people say, oh, well, people have they have bad games. They have bad seasons. But not like this. This is different. This is something I've never seen. And that's why I say this is the worst team in NBA history. Yeah, I said it. So we got a ton of moving parts here in the sports world, mainly football right now. Nobody knows where Deshaun Watson is going. I think somebody just took their name out the hat. But I think it was between Cleveland. We heard the Bucks at one point, but then Tom Shady came on back. I heard Pittsburgh, but then it seemed like that door closed. Now it's talking about Atlanta, and that'd be a good fit for him. But as a Buck fan, I hate to see him every year. And then I think what's his name? Matty Ice gave them an ultimatum. Then you have your boy want out of what's his name? He wants out of the Browns. So we'll see how all this stuff plays out. It is wild. I gotta get a lot more information on that. I was just catching stuff today on the football thing, see what's going on. Looked like Aaron Rodgers lost his wide receiver. Now he's the highest paid wide receiver in the league, going to the Raiders. Is that smart for Adams? Is that smart to go to the Raiders? Some people don't like their quarterback over there. I think he's pretty decent, but we'll see. Highest paid highest paid wide receiver in the league. Now, but I think Aaron Rodgers is the highest paid quarterback in the league. So, and then they just let him go. So what does that say about the Packers? Because Aaron Rodgers always claiming he wasn't getting any help. So now they signed him to the big deal, but then they let his wide receiver go. Arguably the best wide receiver in the game. Make it make sense. Because I don't know. Unless they just flat out don't have the money to sign him. I mean, you making it to the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row, but then you let one of the top tier receivers in the league, if not the best receiver in the league, go. But you sign your quarterback, an aging quarterback. I don't know. But that's going to be interesting to see how that play out. Devontae Adams going over to Las Vegas. What's their name? Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to be interesting to see. And then the Browns quarterback, can't think of his name right now. He decided he want to be traded. Where you gonna go? I don't like who wants you. What is his name? I can see his face. But anyway, who wants the Browns quarterback? I don't think there's a market out there for him, so I think he needs to try to stay put because he find himself out there on the island and can't find a job or find a backup role. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to football free agency and the football season. I think there's going to be a lot of moving pieces. We're already seeing Russ go to the Broncos, which I like. And Von Miller gets signed to a 6-year deal with the Bills. Now, this man won 2 Super Bowls. 6-year deal. That'll take him to 40, I believe. He might make half of that contract. He might make 2 years out of that contract. 2 to 3 years. Now, I don't know. Most of it was obviously guaranteed. I can't remember the exact amount that was guaranteed, but I thought that was kind of crazy. I think they're reaching when they're looking for him, unless it's a thing they have in their head. Look, 2 years. We gotta get this thing done in 2 years. Then you got to get signing. But if it's more than that, I would say that would have been a negative signing, especially if they don't win. If they win it, then regardless, it's a good signing. But is Von Miller? Does he have that much left in the tank at a DN position? I don't know. Yet to be seen. I'm going to say no. I think he got 2 decent years, and then you got to think about it. He was covered. I don't know what Buffalo's D line looked like. I think that's interesting too because you can when you got Aaron Donald getting double and triple team, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing but get off. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Donald's double and triple team. Von Miller can do all kind of stuff about that he want to do. So I don't know the Buffalo Bills defensive line like that. Will some of those players warrant a double team at least? I don't think none of them getting triple team, but does some of them warrant a double team? If so, that'll help Von Miller out a little bit. But I think Von Miller, 2 years in this contract, that's about the best they're gonna get out of it. And then maybe a decent 3rd year. But other than that, I don't think it's gonna be nothing major. Then we got Tom Shady Brady coming back to the Bucs. You know, I've been on this basketball tip, but Tom Shady Brady coming back to the Bucs, trying to get Gronk, and then they're also trying to get Julio Jones. I'm hearing. Supposedly they're close to a deal with Julio Jones. That'll be major. They can get Julio and Gronk back. I don't know if we got Leonard Fournette. Honestly, I really didn't like Leonard Fournette as a running back. Obviously, that's the position he plays. But to me, he looked like he was tipping. He'll tip to the hole, kind of scared. That's what I thought. If you play football, and if I say tipping, you already know what that means. That's not good. But maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he was tipping a little bit and probably could have had some longer runs, some more powerful runs, maybe in some short yardage situations, that tipping just isn't going to work because you got to be able to get behind your pass to put the move the power. So I hope we got Ronald Jones. I know we'll probably get another running back in the draft. I think we should let Lenny go. If you ask me, I don't think we need him. If Ronald Jones, if he can hold on to the ball, I like him as a running back better. But obviously, if you're going to be fumbling all over the place, that ain't going to be you. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what the Bucks do. Also, I talked to a lady today. She was talking about Deshaun Watson going to the Saints because she was from Louisiana. I'm like, boy, that'll be tough. I hate to see him every year. I hate to see. I don't even want him in my division. Don't go to Atlanta. Don't go to the Saints. Go somewhere else. I don't want to see you every year. You know what I mean? It's too much. That's too much. So that being said, folks, that's the sports talk for the day. But man, as we go out this thing called life, let's see. Let's see what. Oh, he said he'd be tipping, but he does like him catching out in the flat. Yeah, I mean, that's cool too, but I think we can find somebody else to do that and probably pay them less. I think we can find somebody that can catch out the backfield, but they also have to be a third down. I mean, every down back. That's what he did bring to us. He was a third down back, and he could catch that thing out the backfield. That was cool. But, man, I think we can find somebody else for cheaper. They gave old boy the franchise tag, Godwin. But I think we can find somebody, I don't know, in the draft. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, a rookie won't have that experience he has. And maybe Tom Shady Brady will be cool with, bringing him back. Maybe Tom Shady Brady want him back. I mean, but me personally, like I said, if Ronald Jones can hold on to the ball, I think he's a better running back. But we're going to see. We're going to see what them boys going to do. You know what I'm saying? And, man, I think as get ready to get off this thing for the day, I think, we as people, I work in a nursing home, right? So I see people, they come and they go. People die, you know what I'm saying? And, the first thing I think about when they say, so the ambulance come up, and you're like, man, who going out now? The first thing pop in my head is, once I find out who's going out, what is my job? What do I have to do to that person's account or something like that? I work in a business office. But I think we sometimes you just get numb to the fact. If you look at it on a daily basis, look on Facebook, RIP, RIH. As y'all learned today, my stepdad died. But it's just one of them things, man. You live this life, and we just go through our life sometimes, man, such and such died, man. Sometimes just sit down and think. Just sit back and be like, wow. I lost my brother like 5 months ago, lost another brother and a sister. Lost my sister about 5 months ago, around the same time. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks after my other brother. Then lost my other brother almost a year ago. 2 cousins last year. But you got to sit back and just think sometime, man. Life is so precious. But sometimes we all take it for granted, And I try not to myself. But like I say, when I'm in these places, if you have a loved one, and I'm talking from experience right now, if you have a loved one who, say for instance, they get in an accident or they got to go for rehab into a nursing home or something, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of knowledge right now. Get on them and have them work going through therapy. Because if they're over 65, they're on Medicare, they get 20 days. They get 20 days of free therapy, but here's the catch. Well, they get 100 days, but they get 20 days of free therapy. But if they're not showing improvement, they will cut you off. And now you have to pay for the therapy, or you got to come get them to get up out of there. So y'all, you got to think. You get a family member that goes into a nursing home for rehab, be on their behind to try to get them up out of there, because they go from that the rehab, switch right over to long-term care. At that point, long-term care, they're typically not getting as much therapy. They may get some here and there, but those first 20 days are super important, simply because they can get the therapy. But another thing, they got to be showing improvement. If they're not showing improvement, then when the therapist or the doctor, whoever says whatever they say, insurance is going to cut them. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think they can just go in that nursing home and, oh man, I got people waiting on me hand and foot. That may be the case a little bit, but at the end of the day, you got to get it. You got to get stronger, because them 20 days going to run out, and then you're going to have to start paying out of pocket some. And when that pocket start hurting, you know what I'm saying, then some people want to start kicking it in. But I'm telling y'all, I'm telling you, if you have a family member who gets injured, who gets hurt, or whatever the case may be, they go into one of these nursing homes, they have 20 days, typically free. You know, their insurance is going to pay. The most important key is they have to be showing progress. It can be slow progress, but they have to be showing progress. After 20 days, they get another 80 days for a total of 100 days, with another 80, but they're going to have to pay the copay. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to get out there. You get your loved ones in there. Y'all don't even understand how many people come in there and then they don't have no family member. But when something happens to them and they pass or something, people show up out the woodworks. You know what I'm saying? But people think we're just all trying to get their money. We're just trying to get their money. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to understand, if you are in one of these nursing homes or family members in the nursing home, and you thinking, all right, oh, my granddaddy gone here, I'm gonna stay in the house, or whatever the case may be. Your family members are here in the state of Florida anyway, is allowed to keep one house and one vehicle. But the key is they can't pay for it, because they're not going to have any money. The money's then coming to the facility, unless they're private pay. If they're private pay, they're going to be paying about $10,000 a month, no cap. I'm telling you, you get a family member going to these nursing homes, try to figure it out. How can we get you up out of here? Especially, you know what I mean? Like, they go in, I don't know, car accident, they slip and fall, whatever the case may be. But your goal as a family member is to try to get them up out of there, because that bill can rack up. And like I said, just the most important things, they got to be showing progress. They're not going to be able to keep their house, because the money then is going to come to the foot. I mean, it's not just like cut and dry like that, but for the most part it is. I've seen family members cry because their mom goes into this nursing home. They got the parent got $20,000 in the bank. Oh, I'm about to get that. Not today. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Y'all got to understand that. And it's not the nursing homes just trying to get people money, but if the state is going to take care of you, you're going to get typically about $130 a month to live on, buy whatever it is you need to buy. So that's why, yeah, you can legally keep that house, you can legally keep that car, but you got to think about it. You're not going to be able to pay for that house, the taxes on that house, or mortgage, or whatever the case it may be, the light bill, water bill. You're not going to be able to pay all those things because you're only getting $130 a month. I'm trying to teach y'all a little game here. You know what I'm saying? So get your family members, man. Like, happens all the time. Some people, I've never seen their family members until they pass or something like that. So anyway, y'all got any questions? Y'all let me know, man. Your family members, get them out the nursing homes if you can. And when I say that, I mean if they're going in for therapy. If they're going in there for therapy, try to work with them, encourage them to get stronger, encourage them to get better. Because if they're not, 20 days, 20 days can come fast. And when they're getting that therapy, if they're not showing improvement, the insurance is going to cut them. Then, I see so many instances of that. People come into the nursing home and then they're like down and out and they don't want to do anything. They're depressed. And then by the time they pucker up, they don't ran out of days or the insurance done cut them. You know how many conversations I've had with family members who's mad at me. It's not my fault, but that's just the way the system's ran. But then they think I'm just trying to take their money or something like that. So, or family member got a lot of assets. There's ways to legally take care of those things, but most important, be involved. Figure it out. Be involved and encourage your family members to get out. So that being said, we're gonna hit y'all with this banger. Y'all already see it. The show is sponsored by D-Minds Music. New music coming out on the 19th. Y'all go on all streaming platforms. Let me hit y'all with this one. Let me hit y'all with this one here. That one right here. I'm gonna give y'all a little sample, a little something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm just started in the middle. Hold up. Uh-oh. Hey, like I said, they don't make it like that no more. Yeah, I can't give y'all all of it. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, y'all go over there and check that out. All streaming platforms on the 19th. Album's coming out. And with that being said, that's it. I'll chop it up with y'all later. Y'all have a good one.